Hey guys, it's another episode of Spencer Uncensored. This is episode 71. I'm Spencer Combs, and I believe that professional development always comes on the backside of personal development. So we're always testing new little ways to do this, and I think this is actually a pretty cool little setup. Good to see you in the house, Jeremy. But anyway, so we're gonna talk tonight. We're gonna be getting into the mindset of purpose. But before I get into all that, I just want to share a little bit about where we're at and how things are coming along, what's happening in our world. We just did an event in the Midlands of South Carolina. It's an old stomping ground of mine. And so we had a lot of people that I knew there, and we were able to fill up a room and have a good time getting into all the nuts and bolts of both momentum and mastery. It was an extraordinary event. People loved it. And we're rolling into a 2.5-day event we're going to be doing later on this year. So sit tight. We're going to talk more about that at some point. Not tonight, but I am going to tell you about it because the immersion effect is super powerful for anyone looking to create the momentum necessary and the mastery to get wherever they want for unshakable progress. That's what we're doing around here. So I'm excited about that. I have to write all my notes down. I don't know about you guys, but if I don't write this stuff down, I can't keep up with everything that's going on in my head. We got a lot going on in this world. But anyway, by the way, feel free to let other people know about this group, this Facebook group that you're seeing this, or if you're seeing it on YouTube later on, we would love to have you subscribe, be a part of the community, because the Unshakable community is one that's dedicated to making sure that people keep moving forward. Way to go. Good to see you, John. John Figueroa is in the house. Anyway, one of the things that we did do, check this out. We got these cool little bracelets. It's even got the little logo on. I don't know if you guys can see it. It says, I am unshakable. And on the other side, it says, keep moving forward. Everybody that came to our Unshakable Masterclass got one of these. And I would love to get one in your hands too. We're going to keep moving forward as we go. If you're interested in getting a daily text message from me, by the way, at least Monday through Friday, it could be anything from inspirational to a business conversation. Who knows what it's about? But really, if you're looking for that consistent touch in the morning of getting yourself up and moving and an unshakable message, then you need to go to spencercombs.com. Right on the front page, we have the text message thing there. You can fill it out, and then we'll start sending you a text message in the morning. Now, Eastern time, it usually gets to you before 7:30 in the morning. So Pacific will get it before 4:30 in the morning. But I don't know what part of the world you might be in, but we send it somewhere between 6:30 and 7:30 Eastern time for you to be able to get that short message. So you can go to spencercombs.com and just fill in the information right there, and we'll start sending you text messages every morning because we're dedicated to seeing you guys grow. Now, pressing on, the biggest focus we've got going on right now is really getting through this book. And tonight I'm going to share with you a specific very small portion where we talk about commitment and some of the things to think about with commitment. But I thought before I did that, I set myself up with a whiteboard for the first time on a Spencer Uncensored so that you guys can see. I'm gonna write some of this down. This is that graphic I told you guys about last week where we actually share with you the entire framework. Okay, this is how you get unshakable progress. So if you've got any kind of distress and you want to turn it into progress, this is the path to get you there. So here's what I'm going to do real fast. I'm just going to line out some things and help you understand. There's 5 building blocks. And the way I have it set up in the book, let's see, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and 5. There's 5 building blocks. Okay? Hopefully you can see that. Can you guys see that? Give me some thumbs up or something. Let me know you guys are here. All right. So let's start from the top. The first thing that you guys want, thanks John, letting me know that we got it. All right, so you can see it. At the very top, everybody that ever comes to me and is looking for coaching, looking for something, that competitive edge, you're looking for progress. I probably should have done it with a different color. Progress. You're looking for progress, period. Right? Spencer, I'm looking to make progress. I want to be able to move forward from where I am right now. Right? Hey, Juliana standing in casa. Hey! That's my cousin. Anyway, all right. So progress, right? That's what you guys are wanting. Well, to get the progress, we're going to need to have Performance. Wayo, Juliana. Anyway, all right. Performance. Well, to get the performance, now I want you to notice, by the way, this stuff stacks on top of each other. So maybe you're struggling with progress, so we talk about performance. Maybe your performance is lacking too. So then we want to go to the block that's underneath that. What's holding up performance? Well, power. If you're not stepped into your power, you're not going to be able to get performance. You're not going to be able to get up and do anything, right? Imagine being able to get up and perform on stage somewhere. You would need to be able to step into your power and go make that happen. Well, now the issue with power, and the reason why you may not be able to feel like you're in your power, is that you probably don't have any straightforward priorities. We live in a society of constant diffused focus. True? If you don't believe me, look around a little bit. Everybody just doing all kinds of things, and we have a hard time with focus. We might talk about that one next week, the focus conversation, because there's some very specific factors that you can distinguish between someone who's focused and not focused. But that's not tonight. We're going to talk about this one at the bottom. At the foundation of all of it is purpose. Now, my coach specifically pointed out to me, or he likes to tell everybody, that I think it's like 87% or something, and I don't know where they got that statistic, but there's a large percentage of people that really don't know their purpose. The truth is that this framework, when I say purpose here at the bottom, I'm not necessarily just referring to like the big, what is the purpose of life and the meaning of life. It could also be, what's the purpose of this business? What's the purpose of today's activities? What is it that I'm after today? And most people just aimlessly wander. If you don't have the mindset and the mechanics of purpose, we're going to struggle with the rest of what's going on up here. Does that make sense? I trust that does. Well, let's talk about mindset. Now, I'm not going to go through all 5 mindsets here tonight. I'm going to only talk about one. These have been about 15, 20 minutes, so we're going to talk about the one at the very bottom of this whole thing. If you cannot find some kind of the mindset of purpose, is going to be commitment. Commitment. Before we could ever go into our conversation around focus, accountability, beliefs, and flexibility, we have to start with a mindset of commitment. And I guess that sounds pretty common, and you've heard that before. It's like, hey, I know that, Spencer. Well, how do you know when you're actually feeling and in the mindset of commitment? There's 4 things you're probably needing to pay attention to, and that's what I want to share with you tonight. This is straight out of the book, by the way. The Momentum and Mastery book that we're working on, we should be able to get finished up in the next week or 2, and then we got to go through the process of finishing the editing and getting it set and all that kind of stuff. So I'm anticipating probably within a month we'll have it ready and to go. Book cover's pretty much done. It's pretty cool, actually, by the way. It's like black and yellow, and anyway, we're going to, I digress, right? But commitment, folks, commitment. There's 4 things you probably need to keep an eye on. Number 1, committed individuals, those of you who have commitment, is going to have a different level of action. See, those that are interested are not committed. See, interested people are curious, where committed people are not just curious. They're actually going to spawn action. So if you say you're committed, but you're not actually taking any action, it's a pretty good chance you're not actually committed. See, commitment spawns action. The more committed you are, the more commitment there is, the more action most typically. Does that make sense? So that's number 1. Number 2, committed people are way more consistent. Should I be writing this down here somewhere? Here. I think the visual process of this kind of helps you guys out. That's why I have the whiteboard in the first place. That's why I should be using it, right? Number 1, action. Now I'm hoping on your screen this is not reverse writing. Can you see the word action, or is it like mirrored to you? Y'all let me know in the comments. Number 2, committed people are consistent. See, if you're just interested in an outcome, like this is my goal and I'm just interested, well, then you're probably going to fluctuate, right? All right, sorry, Dan, it's reversed. So that, guys, I apologize for that. And that means I'm going to have to start doing the backside camera on future events. So I appreciate you letting me know. And it really doesn't matter if I write it down anymore, huh? Anyway, I'll just keep moving. But I thank you for the feedback, buddy. Consistency, or interested people are going to fluctuate with their behavior, where committed individuals are going to be steady and persistent, right? They're less likely to get distracted because they're ongoing and persistent. Consistency. Take a look at your business. Take a look at what you've got going on. Are you being consistent? If you're not, it's a pretty good chance you may not be fully committed. Number 3. I'm still going to write it up here even though it's backwards. Sorry about that, guys. Maybe when I post it, it's going to flip it around. Who knows? We'll all find out together. Anyway, number 3 is going to be sacrifice and investment. Sacrifice and investment. John. For those of you that can't see the comments later on when you watch this, John said just keep writing it the way I am because he's a little dyslexic and he can read it. Listen, we're all a dysfunctional group around here. That's what helps us make sure that we're seeking answers and result to get more and better results. That's what the Unshakable Tribe is all about. But anyway, pressing on. Listen, committed individuals, those who have a commitment to an outcome, the purpose, right? It not only spawns the action that we were talking about a moment ago, it includes cutting out the irrelevant resources. The stuff that's taking you away, right? The sacrifice and investment piece is it is a evidence, if you will, of our level of commitment. Because if it compromises the outcome, it will get ignored or removed by someone who's committed. Right? We start cutting things out. We narrow in what we're willing to accept. We raise our standards in a way that our tolerance for foolishness actually gets lowered. Like foolishness, things that don't get us moving closer to it. When we're fully committed, it will actually cause a problem for you. So commitment usually shows some kind of sacrifice or investment. And this might be just a simple thing like discomfort, right? That makes me uncomfortable. I'm not really sure about it. Well, when you're truly committed, you're probably going to do some things that you may not be comfortable doing or haven't been in the past, and you're going to make yourself more comfortable. I've been on doing some things on my health, and that level of commitment has forced me through the pain of the change. And it's the same for you in your business or any other portion of your life. If there's no sacrifice or an intentional investment in your time, then you probably need to check in on your commitment. Number 4, is endurance. True commitment happens when someone's committed. Let's put it this way: they're not gonna wane in the face of adversity, right? So they're gonna stay the course if they're committed to getting things done. If you're only gonna be interested along the way, interested in like moving forward, then you're gonna run the moment. You're going to run the minute that the novelty wears off. We see this all the time, especially with entrepreneurship, where individuals get into a business of some kind, right? A lot of real estate people in this group. You guys in the real estate business, how many of you seen come into the business and then get out of it once the novelty wears off? They weren't actually committed to the outcome. if you cannot have obedience over a long haul, right? Focus over the long haul, intentional activity over the long haul. If you cannot sacrifice over the long haul, then you probably need to check in on your commitment. This is the absolute most fundamental portion of the Qualified Champions framework, right? This is where we talk about mastery. You're never going to get into mastery, no matter what you're talking about, until you first have a mindset of commitment. So tonight, just a suggestion and a request, check in on those 4 areas. Which one can I step up my game in commitment? And then let's move forward. Let's make it happen. Well, this has been another episode of Spencer Uncensored. This is episode 71. By the way, tell your friends about this group. I would love to have any business leader in here. Secondly, if you are interested, like I said, on having getting individual text messages from me every morning, go to spencercombs.com. Give us your information right there, and we'll start sending you text messages every morning. So I'll look forward to keeping in touch with you guys, and we'll see you next week. Keep well, keep moving forward.